February the 16th, 1943, Operation Gunnerside. Covered by a blanket of snowfall in the middle of the night, a group of 6 men led by Joachim Ronberg parachuted into the vicinity of Vemork, Norway. Heavily armed and well trained, they had plans to blow up a Nazi-controlled heavy water plant, heavy water, D2O, also known as deuterium oxide, which is used in nuclear reactors and nuclear bombs, just like Hitler's. Ordinary water contains one single deuterium atom for every 6,760 ordinary hydrogen atoms. You can imagine the process of making a heavy water bomb and the damage it could cause. The group, dressed in British uniform to avoid Norway getting blamed for the sabotage, landed 5 miles away from the water plant. Avoiding all detection from Nazis, travelling 5 long days, they connected with the Swallow group. 3 more men added to the team. The late evening of February the 27th, 1943, the raid began. The men had to decide 3 ways to access the heavy water plant. 1. Come down the mountain from above, which was an area covered in mines, a deadly approach. 2. Cross a heavily guarded single-lane suspension bridge. Or 3. Travel to the bottom of the gorge and cross a half-frozen river and climb a 500-foot cliff. They chose to climb the cliff. Cutting through the wide fence, the men split up, 2 going into the access tunnel placing their explosives, and the other breaking through the window to get to the heavy water production cells. The explosives being placed, Ronberg shortened his fuse so the team could still hear the explosion when they left, I suppose for a bit of reassurance. Only leaving them 30 seconds to escape after the fuse was lit. After the explosives had gone off, the heavy water cells were destroyed. The rest of the Gunnerside group fled, skiing more than 200 miles to Sweden. A small piece of history such as this one can be read in such a short amount of time. Such a small short story had such a massive impact on our future today. 9. 9 is the number that stopped possibly millions from dying in the world we live in today to be what it is today. There were 17 million victims of the Nazi persecution. There were 2 bombs dropped in 1945, killing 146,000 people. Imagine if Hitler gained control of power like this and what the world could have turned out like today. 9 is all it took to stop it. Imagine what we could all do.